Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember when the PS3 could play prior generation games, but they quickly removed that feature? The fat PS3, right? Yeah, that was awesome. You could play the PS2 games. My friend had that. I didn't have it, and I was so jealous because I didn't have the fat PS3 that I could play the PS2 games. Xbox has been on top of it lately, outselling even in a few regions. The sales have been extremely impressive, but it definitely is because of these deals that they've made and because of the inventory. And it's smart. Did you play Dreamcast back in the day? I did play Dreamcast back in the day. I didn't own one though. My friend had one. I would always just go play with them. But it's because PS2 came out just destroyed it like right after, right? So I had a PS2 and I had PS2 first, and then I got an Xbox, original Xbox when my PS2 broke, and then I eventually got a GameCube as well. Yeah, some great games like Sonic Adventure are some of my favorites. I replayed Sonic Adventure on PC as well, but I remember on when they showed off Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast, I thought like that was revolutionary to video games. That blew my mind. So good. What's the name of the beer I'm drinking? Well, tonight I'm just going basic with some. Well, I can't see that. Just drinking a Guinness tonight. In fact, I'm almost done this one, so I have a second one here. I'm gonna pop open as we go through this. I love Guinness. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna pour this beer, guys, before we jump into this topic. All right, so what are we talking about here? Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy is a very interesting game to me. It first came out when they first announced it. I think a lot of people thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be like the Avengers, and that instantly I think turned off a lot of people. They showed it off. It looked cool. It looked interesting. The reviews came out, confirmed it wasn't like the Avengers. Got really good reviews, and people were ranting and raving about the story, the characters, the graphics, all that type of stuff. But it didn't sell well. It didn't sell well. And even for me personally, I was looking at it. I didn't pick it up at launch. I bought it on Black Friday, which I think is like a month after it came out or something. And literally it was half price. It was 50% off on Black Friday, which is always a terrible sign for a game in terms of how it's doing with sales and its overall success. I eventually played through it and I absolutely I loved it. I thought the acting was incredible. The story was incredible. In fact, I think I like the actors in the game more than I liked the movie. I kind of I'm hoping they just take this and make like a movie out of it, or at least make a second game, because I thought the one-liners, the character development, the interactions between the character was just top notch. So it was very confusing and unfortunate to see the game just not do very well. I just think it has a lot to do with the downfall of Avengers, and people think maybe it was like that, or maybe it was just the timing of when it was released. So it didn't do well, got slashed in price, and then, as we know, came out onto Xbox Game Pass, which was a huge Game Pass release that people were happy to see. And it looks like now, because of it releasing onto Xbox Game Pass, it has found an audience. So it's developed by Eidos Montreal, and they say here, despite receiving highly positive reviews, it undershot publisher Square Enix sales expectations at launch, according to President Yusuke Matsuda. However, he also said in February that sales initiatives kicked off in late 2021 had resulted in growth. So I'm guessing the sales initiatives he's referring to is cutting the price of it, cutting it in half. And the title has since attracted many more players after joining Xbox Game Pass in March. Senior narrative director Mary DeMarle have told Eurogamer, now I think this is the important part here, for me, it's all about creating the game. What I love right now is that people, especially with Game Pass, are playing it and they're sharing the experience. We make games to touch people. We make games to hit an audience, and it's great that it's finding its audience. It's great that it keeps going forward. Continue right here. Say it's like anything. We always want to sell trillions, but it's not always necessarily as easy as that. But it's a great ride, and it's something this year or last year that you played that is unlike everything else, and it is worth spending your time on. I honestly think it's from It is from a game standpoint. I have no regrets. We did everything we could, but that's the reality of the market. And let's not forget, it's a new IP. Even though we say all Guardians of the Galaxy are known, it's still a new IP in the video game market. It could be a lot. People don't even know that the game is out yet, and they're not sure exactly what it is. So there's that. I mean, that's what they're going with. It's a new IP. People may not know about it or whatever. Maybe there wasn't enough marketing. Although I did see a decent amount of marketing of Guardians on social media and stuff when the game was announced, when it was launched. But the big thing here is Game Pass. It's Game Pass, and it's another example of how successful Game Pass can be for games of getting more people to play it. Now, what's I think the most interesting thing about Guardians of the Galaxy is just the fact that it's a single player game. It's not a multiplayer. It's not a co-op. It's not, it's not a game that people just, I guess, automatically attribute to Game Pass success. It's a game that it's pretty much a one and done. You go through it, you're done. And we remember back with the deal, we heard that the rumors that, well, it's right here. They paid 5 to 10 million to get Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass. This is what an analyst says, which for Microsoft is a drop in the bucket. It's absolutely no money. And for Square Enix, I'm guessing you get offered $5 to 10 million for these big companies. It's still not a crazy amount of money, but they're probably thinking this game has just failed sales. We've had to cut the price in half. Are we going to be able to make that $5 to 10 million in the next couple of months if we just continue to sell it and continue to slash the price? Probably not. So we're going to take that deal, we're going to put it onto Game Pass, and more people are going to go and play the game. And from the statistics that we've seen with Xbox Game Pass is that more people try different games, more people buy things once they're in Game Pass on the store, and they're probably hoping as well, on top of more people experiencing the game itself, more people are going to go buy it. More people are going to spend money on it outside of Game Pass because they've discovered the game, they've told their friends. It's the word of mouth marketing, it's the social media stuff. All that plays into these deals as to why this game came out onto Game Pass relatively soon after it came out. And I think just these types of examples are just more stuff that Xbox gets to use when they're trying to get more single player games onto these service. And it's great that it did well. It's great that Square Enix is talking about. This isn't the first time we've seen this. I mean, Sega's talked about how well their games do on Game Pass. Pretty much every publisher out there has talked about how they put their Game Pass the game onto Game Pass, and more people are buying their games. Their sales actually went up because it was on Game Pass. So it's just another success story, and it gives hope that maybe they will make it a second Guardians of the Galaxy because of this success. And I really hope they do, because to me personally, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was an absolutely incredible game. I was sad to see that not sell well, and I was instantly thinking they aren't going to make a second game because of this. But Game Pass could potentially have revitalized it, potentially saved the actual franchise in terms of the video games, and we may be getting a second game depending on how all this goes. So those are my thoughts. Let's see what do you guys think about this? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Right. Hopefully we get a second Guardians. They did a really good job. I agree 100%. What kind of music do I listen to? I listen to just like a variety of music, like rap, rock. I like blues. I really, really like blues. I actually play guitar, and I'm just like, I play like a lot of bluesy stuff, just like more of like the soloing style of stuff. I'm less of the rhythm, more of like the solo, but I like a lot of different stuff. Hopefully headlines like this inspire other devs to put their games onto Game Pass either day one or a few months after it performs. I think it will. I think these headlines will, but I also think just like the data and statistics that Xbox provides all of these developers based off of this will help them get their games on there. Like, this is a success story for Game Pass. $5 to 10 million, low cost. Square Enix makes back some of the money, the return on their investment for making a game that they would have never had before if it wasn't for Game Pass. So they're happy, and they're seeing the statistics that more people are discovering the game that would have never played it. So again, they're double happy. It's a win-win-win for everybody, and more things like this will get more games like Guardians of the Galaxy on the service. And it also gives you insight on the deals, because it's a single player game. There's no microtransactions. Like, you're not going to be making extra additional dollars off of people spending more money within the Microsoft store. So Microsoft doesn't really have like, or the publisher and developer don't have that like bargaining chip to say, hey, we want more money because you're going to make more money off of the store or whatever it is, right? So $5 to $10 million, the amount of games Xbox could potentially get that just underperform, but they're huge games like this. There's probably a decent amount of them. Outselling is outselling. It's not Xbox's fault. PlayStation can't make more. At this point, the Black Friday section is a spoiler alert for Game Pass updates. It's definitely something you can look at. Square should sell them their Western studios. They will be much happier under Xbox, in my opinion. So yeah, there's like Crystal, right? People Can Fly. I don't know. Those are the two that come to my mind because we had Outriders. People Can Fly Square. But Outriders was on Game Pass. Tomb Raider was exclusive to Xbox, and we know they're doing another. We know they're doing another Tomb Raider game. If you guys haven't played the Crystal Dynamics trilogy of Tomb Raider games, you got to go play those. Those games are incredible. Some of my favorite. I absolutely love those games. And the hilarious thing about that is my wife, or my girlfriend at the time, but my wife now, she got me into them. Like she was playing them and I was like, oh, it's Tomb Raider. I used to like it back in the day, but you play through them. If they're good, I'll play them. And she was like, yeah, these games are incredible. So especially considering how their Japanese studios have been performing. Yep, for sure. Square has been extra weird saying their games didn't make the money they wanted. They need to stop overestimating. Yeah, they gotta stop overestimating. They gotta put their games everywhere. Final Fantasy 14 time exclusives are keeping them propped up. Final Fantasy 14 is huge. It's crazy. Yeah, it's taking over World of Warcraft. With how recent Final Fantasy performed, they should be worried that Final Fantasy 16 in the future is the future of the franchise. I'm worried about Final Fantasy 16 never coming onto an Xbox platform. I'm probably gonna play it on. I'll probably play on PS5. Like for me, I don't care. I have all consoles. I literally play it everywhere. It's just like the thought that you're just literally withholding a game from a group of gamers to play, especially as big of a game as Final Fantasy, it's unfortunate. And I know everybody does that. I know Xbox does this too. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it's just unfortunate. Building a 3D printer while watching. Nice. Good luck with that. Surprised we're getting another Tomb Raider. They never perform well according to Square. Well, they made 3 of them. So they must have done decent, right? It must have not been as bad because they made a whole new trilogy of them. So there it is. But yeah, that's good news for Game Pass. Good news for Guardians. Hopefully we get another game.